out this morning. Maybe we'll play it tomorrow as well, and even Thursday. Try to get as many as we can this Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday. This coming Thursday, tomorrow at 7 o'clock in our Zoom room. Should be a great presentation. Good morning, everyone. This is Dick, WB2JPQ. And as most of you know, I'm a little bit south of Buffalo, 20 miles south of Buffalo. And I do the open on Wednesday, followed by Al, KAPAC. And of course, the talented Miss Vicki is with us as always this morning, along with Scott and Bill in here as well as kind of backups. Today's question was sent in by K1JAX. Have you ever been to a drive-in movie? I think we might have used this a couple years ago, but we're going to use it again. Have you ever been to a drive-in movie? That was sent in by K1JAX. So let's see if we have any mobile stations this morning. I've got some on the text line, but we're looking for mobiles, people going out there and even for work, play, or school. Mobile stations only, call signs twice. Kilo Zulu 4, PPX, Juliet November, PPX. Kilo Zulu 4, Juliet November, mobile. KG2, FLO. KG2, FLO, mobile, in and out. KQ4, BSN, Kilo, Quebec 4, Victor, Sierra, November, mobile. Whiskey 4, Kilo, Sierra, Kilo, Whiskey 4, Kilo, Sierra, Kilo, mobile, in and out. Seems though we might have missed somebody in here. Let me run up through this. W4KSK, KQ4BSN, KE2FLO was in and out. Mike in Buffalo, good morning. W4PPX, Don, and KZ4N, or JN, KZ4JN. Anybody else mobile that didn't get on the list? Echo 2, George Alpha Tango. Kilo Echo 2, George Alpha Tango, in and out. KF0, IUM, in and out. 2, FZA, Kilo Echo 2, Foxtrot Zulu Alpha. KQ4, BSN, Kilo, Quebec 4, Victor, Sierra, November. Make sure you're mobile, guys. I want just the mobile stations here this morning. I just want mobile stations. I got John in Buffalo, KE2, FZA. Got Kevin, KF0IUM. Got Walter, KE2GAT. Those two were in and out. I think I said the rest. So I'm going to go up to KZ4JN, Mobile this morning in Gainesville, Florida. He's usually up at the top of the pack. Good morning to you, and our question once again, have you ever been to a drive-in movie? Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicki, and everyone else. It's a lovely 73 here, start of the morning, and I think we're going to be in the mid-90s at least by this afternoon. I have never had the pleasure of going to a drive-in theater. I wish I had, but I haven't. Hope everyone has a great day. It's hump day, and back to net control. Kilo Zulu 4, Juliet, November. No for you. How about Don in Hollywood, K4PPX? Morning, Don. Morning, Dick. Everybody on the brew and Vicky. Put me down for hundreds of times. Like growing up in high school years, had a great time with a lot of people. 7-3, Dick. Hope you have a good day. W4PPX, back to you. You older guys remember that stuff, see? That was the big thing back in the day. How about Mike? Oh, Mike in Buffalo. He's in and out, unfortunately, this morning. Good morning to you, Mike. Anyway, how about Richard? KQ4VSN.
Good morning, everybody. It is a sunny day here in Florida. I will say yes. Been to a drive-in. I believe we still have a drive-in here in Ocala, Florida that I go to because the prices are a lot cheaper than a movie theater. Thank you for having me, and everyone have a great day. KQ4VSN.
You still got a drive-through. Well, that's great. That's great. How about W4KSK? What's the drive-in movie situation in your world? U4KSK, are you still with me? It's that. We had Walter, KE2GAT, was in and out, along with KF0IUM, Kevin, Grand Junction, Colorado, was in and out. How about John in Buffalo, KE2FZA?
Sorry about that. I thought this was regular check-ins. I just turned the radio on. I didn't realize it was for mobile. Anyway, yes, I've been doing drive-ins multiple times. I still go to the drive-ins here locally. What I do miss, those are the speakers you pull up to. Now everything's over the air for listening to the movie. KE2FCA, back to control.
And hope you fill out our application for the meet and greet June 21st. We need to keep mentioning that every day. The Western New York meet and greet is June 21st. That's coming up. 21, 22, 3 days, whatever it is here. Saturday, June 21st at Chestnut Ridge, New York, south of Buffalo. It's a great time. Past years we've had a really good time. So if you're in the area, get a hold of Randy and get your reservation in, and we'll love to see you. We'll have a good time. Some are coming from Florida, some are coming from Michigan and various places. So a good time is always had by all. Let me go up to Wayne. You've been patiently waiting. KC2NJV, one of our early text check-ins every morning. Wayne, good morning to you. What about your drive-in theater situation? Good morning, Dick. Alan, Vicky, KC2NJV. Here in the Reflector Brew Crew. I think the last time I did a drive-in movie was 1979, and it was Halloween. So, that gives you an idea how long it's been. Have a great day. All right, a horror movie. Long time ago, but that's constituted yes. Ken, Kingsman, Arizona, KK6PCX. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Dick and Vicky and the rest of the crew. Yes, I have. Several years ago, they still have a handful of modern drive-thrus in Southern California, so went and saw a movie there. KK6BCX, back to net.
Thank you, Ken. Gil, K4GDS, Orlando. Good morning, Gil.
Good morning, Nick, Vicky, and everyone else in the brew. Yes, back in the 70s when I lived in Hawaii. It's been a long time. K4GDS, back to net.
Yes, the 70s were full of drive-ins, weren't they? 60s as well. VA3GLJ. Greg, what's the story up there in Canada?
Good morning to the brew crew. Weather-wise, sun is out, 46 degrees Fahrenheit or 8 degrees Celsius. Drive-ins, my former QTH, St. Catharines, Ontario, has a fourplex, and checked out a few movies there a few years back. Nothing around my current QTH, it's just forest. Anyhow, everybody have a great day in 73, VA3 GLJ.
Right. How about Brian? KR4AYB.
Morning. Yeah, a couple of different drive-ins. When I was living in Delaware, just south of Dover, there was a drive-in. My wife and I, a few times, but my first experience with a drive-in was actually in Plattsburgh, New York. It was they only showed X-rated movies, so at the time, I couldn't get in. That didn't mean you couldn't see it from certain vantage points. But yeah, a couple of drive-ins. Back to net, KR4AYB. Thanks.
My gosh, you mean to tell me you were looking through the fence with a pair of binoculars? You have a good day, Brian. Paul, KQ9KX. Oh, the last drive-in was probably 50 years ago, and the name of the movie was Cat. And if I can remember that, I must have enjoyed it. KQ9KX. Well, that's pretty good if it was 50 years ago. Great memory. What about you, Nick, in Toledo, Ohio? W8NJT. Good morning, everybody on the net. There's actually two drive-in theaters near us. The closest one just being redone recently. I haven't been there since they've redone it, but I have been there many times. W8NJT, back to net. So that would be a yes. The question, have you ever been to a drive-in theater? Have you ever been to a drive-in movie? That question was submitted by K1JAX. Moving on to Bill in Hobbs, New Mexico, KI5PMI.
Good morning, Dick. Everybody on the brew. Yes, I have been to them. Rest of the day, just some work. Hopefully get some more precipitation around here. So, hope everybody has a great day. KI5PMI. Back to net.
On the TechNet last night, I think he represented the total fifth call district. We don't know what happened. We didn't get any fives last night. Bill came in. Thanks for helping us out, Bill. Well, Jeff, KG8QP, Perrysburg, Ohio.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, and everybody on the brew. Yes, I have been to a drive-in. It's been many years. I'm probably pushing about 50 years as well. With that, wish everybody a great day. KGHQP, that's it.
Yes, it is for you. Michael, KE2EIO. Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, everybody. When I was a kid growing up in the south towns of Buffalo, they were everywhere. Yes, I have been to one several times in the past, and the only ones near us now is up by Silver Lake, the Charcoal Corral. Everybody have a good day. This is KE2EIO 73 to everybody, and back to net. Thank you. I guess I didn't realize you lived in Buffalo, Michael. We'll have to talk about that sometime. Richard in Leesburg, Florida, KR4DRD. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. The last time I was at a drive-in theater was about 10 years ago, I think. The movie was Toy Story, so you figure out the timeline there. Listen to it on those speakers you hung on the window. KR4DRD, back to the net.
And the last time I was at a drive-thru probably was 50 years ago, too. And that's what it was. You hung them on the window. Modern stuff, I guess, today. You tune your radio to a channel, and there you go. What about you, Roy? Blaisdell, New York, K8 BYU.
K88 BYU. Yeah, I've been to tons and tons of drive-ins, and my son's first and only drive-in movie was Who Framed Roger Rabbit? They closed the drive-in about 2 weeks later after that. So that was the only one he got to go to.
That would be a yes for you. It looks like the yes column is kind of filling up here this morning. Thanks to KJ or K1JAX for the question this morning. David, Sacramento, California, N6QDY.
Yeah, good morning, Dick, Vicky, the Brew crew, and everybody in the Zoom room. M6GY. Put me down for a yes. There's another town, probably about 20 minutes over in Rancho Cordova. They still have a drive-in running. Anyways, back to net control. Everybody have a great day. M6QDY.
For being there. Thank you for being in the Zoom room with us this morning from California, David. Mark, Elma, New York, K6, K6. I'm still in California. See that K6, KE2 EDS. Morning, Mark.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicky, and the rest of the crew. As far as going to a drive-in, that's a yes. It's been umpteen years since I went. I don't remember the movie. That's all I remember, that they had Steppenwolf, the band, playing before the movie. Have a great day and great rest of the week. KE2 EDS.
Another one with the yes. Jacksonville, Florida, Harlan, the man that owns this question. Good morning. K1JAX. What is your answer this morning?
K1JAX in Jacksonville, Florida. And drive-in movie since the 80s. We haven't had a drive-in theater in this town for quite a while, and me and my wife were driving around the other day what made me think of this question, and it was. And we went to that flea market, and like, when was the last time we've been here? And I was like, man, it's been back in the late 80s. K1JAX, back to the net.
Thank you for the question. And there's a spot on the East Coast Reflector website page for generating morning brew questions, and if you're going to send them in, we ask you to do that. Send them in there rather than in personal emails. So they're all in one spot so we can keep track of them. Jason, Atlanta, Georgia, K4KU, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dick and Vicky and everybody else on the brew here from Atlanta today, where it seems to be kind of muggy already this morning. But put me in the no column. I have not been to a drive-in movie. There aren't really any around the areas where I'm at. So have a great day, everyone. This is the K4KU, back to net control.
All right, got a few more text check-ins. We'll I'm going to take some radio check-ins and get the log filled up here. Anybody anywhere slowly? I'd like to get on the log here this morning. I'd like to get a list started. Vicky has to leave for a little while. We'll get a list started. Anybody anywhere? Call signs twice and slowly.
Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Yankee Hotel. Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Yankee Hotel, Gary in Fort Lauderdale.
Kilo Charlie 3, Lima Alpha Victor, KT3LAV.
Kilo 2 Alpha Alpha Charlie. Kilo 2 Alpha Alpha Charlie. In and out.
Victor Alpha 3, Kilo Tango Juliet. Victor Alpha 3, Kilo Tango Juliet.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Echo Bravo Victor. Kilo Foxtrot 8, Echo Bravo Victor. In and out.
Victor Echo 3, Tango Golf Number. Victor Echo 3, Tango Golf Number. Tim, Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Kilo 2 Tango Victor, Kilo 2 Tango Victor. Kilo Foxtrot 8, Charlie Whiskey Foxtrot.
November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo. November Romeo Hotel Echo.
November 2, India, Sierra Kilo. November 2, India, Sierra Kilo. AP. November 2, Sierra. November Golf 2, Sierra. Brian from Bethpage, Tennessee.
Or Brian, there was an Alpha Kilo or something like that. The station with the Alpha just before Brian, your complete call sign.
I don't know if you were talking about Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Yankee Hotel, Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Yankee Hotel, Gary in Fort Lauderdale.
You, Gary. All right, we'll run this list. We got a pretty good list here. KG2S. Brian, we got Bob in Leesburg, Florida. KO4APG. With Haven, Michigan, just popped in N8ZFH via the text line. And to ISK, Roger in Fort Lauderdale on 4RHE. Got Brian in Warren, Michigan. Our friend Bob in Fairfax, Virginia. Tim in Windsor, Ontario. Michael in Farmington Hills, Michigan. KF9EBV. Tim in Hamburg. Morning, Tim. VA3KTJ. My friend Art, K2AAC Art. Some morning got to get in here, at least say good morning to me. Trust you're well. I haven't heard you, but we haven't talked in years. Good to hear you. KC3LAV, Mike. KQ4AYH. KM4WZD via the text line. N5CHB. AA5JW, and Bill, N2BH, all via the text line here this morning. Go start with Bill. Good morning, Bill. N2BH, and that question, have you ever been to a drive-in movie theater?
Yeah, good morning, Dick and everybody. Oh yes, several times, and used to sneak people in and have one open back up just a couple miles from us, and opened last year. I'll have to go check that out. Haven't been there yet. N2BH.
Yeah, I think more than once I went in the trunk of a car. But hey, it's all fun, Bill. James in Spring, Texas. Here we go. Tell us your story. AA5JW. Good morning.
good morning, Dick and Vicky and everybody else out there today on the Brew Crew. This is Alpha 5 Juliet Whiskey Mobile, James in Spring Mobile to Houston for work today. And you know what, you're right about that, Dick. I have never been short on words for some reason. That's why this is such a great hobby for me. You know, it has been 21 years since I have been to a drive-in movie. And that was when I was going to college up at the University of North Texas in Denton. And took a girl on a date and we went to a drive-in. It's the one and only time I've ever been to a drive-in. I don't even think there's one operating around here anymore. But that's a good question, brings back some fond memories. With that, I'll say 7-3, hand it back to net. Everybody have a blessed day and stay safe out there. This is Alpha 5 Juliet Whiskey Mobile. We'll be monitoring.
Thank you, James. Always enjoy your upbeat attitude in the morning. It's great. Picks us all up. Chuck in Sugarland, N5CHB. Morning, Chuck. Good morning, Brew Crew. It's hard to follow James, all that energy. It seems he goes from the Woodland south and I go from Sugarland north, and I think we cross at some point. Yes, drive-ins were a thing back when I was in high school. I believe the last time I would have gone to one would have been summer of 1980, and yeah, great memories. So Friday the 13th, I believe, was the movie. So anyway, 73s, driving to work in the rain here. N5 CHB. Well, thank you, Chuck. How about our friend Joe in Claremont? KM4WZD. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning to the crew. Yeah, I have been, but it was 40 plus years ago, back when I lived in Pennsylvania. I've been down here in Central Florida for 35 years, so I know it was definitely before that, and I want to say it was with my parents for some reason. Anyhow, yeah, about 40 plus years ago. Yeah, I've been. There was a drive-in theater here in beautiful downtown Claremont, Florida, for a while, but they knocked it down, but then they kept the sign up right by the road, and people were confused, wondering where the theater was whenever the sign was there, but the theater was not. Anyhow, I think that's my story for the day. Everybody take care. 7-3s, KM4, WZD, back to net.
And that's a good story from Claremont, Joe. Moving on to Gary in Fort Lauderdale, KQ4AYH. Morning, Gary.
Good morning, East Coast Reflector and everybody on the East Coast Reflector. Yes, 40 years ago, I think the movie was Grease, but I think we went to the theater, the drive-in theater, not to really watch the movie, but we got in the back seat and we started exploring our desires. So I remember that we did not really watch too much of the movie, so we were necking in the back seat. So that's about what I remember 40 years ago, and I think the movie was Grease. Anyways, this is Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Yankee Hotel, back to net control. Thank you so much, gentlemen, and you all have a blessed day.
Well, thank you, Gary. Move on to Mike. KC3LAV. Good morning, Mike.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning to everyone on the crew. It is Kilo Charlie 3 Lima Alpha Victor, Mike, Warwick Township, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, where it is raining gently and everything is bright and green. It's a marvelous morning in spring here in Lancaster County. We went to drive-ins many, many years ago. I don't think there's any drive-ins left around here anymore. We used to have the Comet and the Skyview, but they're long gone. The local park here is going to show a couple movies through the summer on a big screen for all the kiddies. Big screen movies in the park this summer. That's cool. KT3LAV, back to net. Thank you very much. We're clear.
Thank you, Mike. How about Zenzik, VA3 KPJ, Sal, Ontario. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick, SCT, and everyone on the net. This is VA3 KPJ. Yes, I have been to a drive-in movie very long time ago. I forward between 30 or 40 years ago when I was in college. So yes, I have. Have a great day, everyone. Better day to all. I'd like to net control. This is VA3 KPJ.
Yes, it is for me. I guess maybe we should have rephrased this and said we've been to a drive-in more than 40 years ago. Or less than. How about Tim in Hamburg, KD2WIN? Good morning, Tim. Nice to hear you on the system.
Good morning, everybody on the net. Coming in from Echo Link in beautiful Gowanda, New York. Yeah, I've been to a drive-in, yes, and actually out in a place called Silver Lake. They had drive-in and a barbecue and a camping area. It's a pretty big complex, about an hour away, and I'm trying to think of the movie we saw. It's been at least 10 or plus years ago. Might have been a Transformers movie or something like that. Took my boy and that, another friend of his, and it was fun. I haven't done it in a while, but yes, that was the last time we went, and went to one before that back in the 80s. I remember going to see Rambo down on the lake. There was the last time the Twin Drive-In was open. So yes, I've been to them before. 82 IWN.
Well, good. You sound pretty good at Echo Link. I sent you an email the other day. Say hello. Have a good day, Tim. KF8EBV. Michael from Farmington Hills, Michigan was in and out this morning. I guess it's your turn, Tim. Windsor, Ontario, V3TGN. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Dick and Sean. Vicky, Nat. The answer is yes, but a long time ago. Was in Windsor, the drive-in theater, and that definitely the answer is yes.
I think we've got 100% yeses, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look back. But thanks, Tim. Looking for a no here somewhere. Maybe our younger generation will be popping up in a minute. How about you, Bob? Fairfax, Virginia, K2TV. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning to everyone on the net. Boy, you're bringing back some way back memories. Yeah, been there, been to the drive-in theater many years ago. And only comment I have is some people watch the movie and other people would go there to watch the submarine races. I'll let your imagination go that way. Back to you, Dick. Everyone have a great day from rainy, chilly Northern Virginia. This is K2TV.
Well, thank you, Bob. I've had a chance to talk to you very often. Brian, Warren, Michigan, good morning to you, KF8CWF.
Good morning, everybody on the Brew Crew. Yes, I have been many times. I grew up in the Detroit area. We had travel from. My dad used to take us close to 50 years ago, and that was a fun night out because we got to play on the playscapes, and then we had to settle down in the back of the station wagon to watch the movie, and we always passed out before the second movie started. And then again, in the middle 90s there, I used to take my wife to the last remaining
drive-in on the north side, so we call it the East, right? And my wife and I, when we were dating, used to go there. So, quite a history there. Loved them. Wish they were more of them still alive. Back to net control, KF8, CWF. Thank you, Brian. Next up is Roger in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I'm sure he's going to have a story for us. Good morning, Roger.
WB2JPQ, good morning, Godfather and clever cousin Vicky. November 4, Romeo Hotel Echo. Yes, many fond memories were created at drive-ins. We still have a 7-screen drive-in on Sunrise Boulevard. Today is a cardinal date from which other dates can be calculated, because on the 28th of May in 585 BC, a Greek philosopher and scientist predicted a solar eclipse. It is the earliest event with the precise date is known, birth of science. Your voice sounds better, Dick. November 4, Roger. Have enthusiast. Return to net.
Well, I think it is a little better than last night, Roger, but this has been going on for 2 weeks. And of course, yesterday with the mowing lawn and the heavy pollen count didn't help that either. So we're here. We're looking at the grass from the green side, so that's the important thing. Woodbridge, New Jersey. Morning, Bob. N2ISK.
Good morning, all. Yeah, well, the answer is yes. I grew up mostly in the 50s in Union, New Jersey, and there was a drive-in where we went down the street. We could walk down, and we did. We'd sneak through the hole in the fence as kids and watch some of the movies. They had a playground there with a broken down playground things for the kids, so we got out there and watched the movie. So I fell in love with Haley Mills during the Parent Trap movie. So, there you go. Long time ago. I think it's all apartments now, so unfortunately. And to ask it.
Thank you, Bob. Got another Bob following, Leesburg, Florida Bob, KO4APG.
Again, is yes. And if you ask me if I had been to a drive-in movie in the last 50 years, my answer would have been no. So it's been a long time. I used to pack up the 3 girls, my daughters, put them in the back of the station wagon, and go off to the drive-in and watch the movie and get them popcorn. Back to net control. Thank you, Dick.
Sure, it's been at least 50 That's a long, long time. Brian, NG2S. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone on the Brew Cruise today. The answer is yes, I've been to a drive-in. It's been somewhere between 25 and 30 years, but yes, I've been to one.
The yeses this morning. We get some of our younger ones in that perhaps haven't been. I don't know. I can't speak for them, but I'm just guessing it. Maybe. Woodhaven, Michigan. Gary, N8ZFH. Good morning. And this is Dick, WB2JPQ of the Morning Brew.
Morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicky, if you're back. And good morning to the crew. Yeah, it's been a long time. Maybe our daughters, when they were younger, probably about 30 years ago or so. But a good memory. Maybe we'd take our granddaughter here when she comes to visit. She's 4 and may enjoy a cartoon.
but I do remember as a teenager going to see Woodstock at the drive-in and replacing the little window-hanging speaker with a 10-inch coaxial speaker. That made a big difference. Please check me in and out. I'll continue to listen. And to the page, back to net. Interesting story, Gary. How about you, Bray? N3DQD. You got any drive-ins in Pennsylvania? Yeah, good morning, Dick and Vicki and the crew. Yes, we still have one, but I have not been to a drive-in since probably 1977. This is N3DQD. We should have put a timeline on this. That still gives you a yes. How about Anna? Beaver, Pennsylvania, KD3AJN. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick and the crew from KD3AJN. Yes, I was at the drive-in years ago, probably late 70s, showing our age, but there is still one around here, at KD3AJN.
Late 70s, okay, yeah, thank you. Dansville, New York, KE2EAU. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, we actually still try to go once or twice a year to the Silver Lake Drive-In of the area. I've been just recently, so yeah, we try to go every year. Hope everybody has a great day. Back to Net Control, KE2EAU, clear.
Jason, Doug from Lubbock, Texas is up next, W5BEO. Morning, Doug.
Well, good morning to the brew crew, and yes, I've been into a drive-in with the hanging that you put on your window, and also, I don't know how recent, but within the last 20 years, the ones that you just turn to a FM station and listen to it on your car system. And we do have one still open up here in Lubbock. I haven't been to it yet, but my daughter's been a couple times. Back to net, W5EO Mobile Lubbock.
That constitutes a yes. Next up, W2BLT. Looks like he's new to the system from Buffalo, New York.
Hey, good morning. It's nice to find this net. Yeah, I've been to a drive-through or drive-in many times. Not in the last 5 years, but many times. Everyone have a good day. It's W2BLT.
Scott, thanks for all you do for the morning brew. Joe is our go-to, Scott is our go-to guy. He makes sure the show goes on every morning, so we appreciate all Scott does. He's always got a log sheet ready for us and so forth and so on. Stuart, Milton, Florida, KC1IFK. Good morning to you.
Dick and everybody on the crew. We do have a drive-in theater here in Vermont, in Colchester, and my company that I work for actually hosts a movie night for all the employees every summer. So my wife and kids went last summer. I haven't been for a couple of years just because I work at night. But then also when I was a kid, there was a drive-in theater in Castleton, Vermont, and we used to go a couple of times a summer. So I started off with the speaker box on the window, and then the last time we went with my wife and I, we went on a date. It was the FM modulator, so it was pretty interesting. So that's a big old yes for me. Thank you very much for having the net. Appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. 7-3 KC1IFK back to net control.
Well, thank you, Stuart. Steve, Rochester Hills, Michigan is up next, W8STJ. Good morning, Steve. And this is Dick, WB2JPQ with the Morning Brew.
Hey, good morning, Dick. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning to everybody here on the Morning Brew. For me is no, I've never been to a drive-in movie theater, but I hear there's one across town from me, so maybe I'll get there one of these days, but the answer is no. Hope everybody has a great day ahead. Safe day ahead as well. This is W8STJ.
Got you down for a no. Maybe we can even up the playing field a little bit more here today. Zachary in Kissimmee, Florida, KI6KQO. Good morning.
Good morning to you, and good morning to the Morning Brew. Yes, as a kid growing up, went to the drive-in movies quite a bit, and then fortunately, in the town I lived in at the time, my kids were able to experience the drive-in, albeit it was down to one screen. They sure had a great time. Straight to the group, back to net, KI6KQO.
Thank you, Zachary. Have a nice day there. Last on this list, boy, this lasted me a long time, didn't it? Ecorse, Michigan, our friend Bob, KQAU. Morning, Bob.
Morning, Dick. It has been a long time. Too many radios on. I don't think I've been in a drive-in since the 80s or 80s. We spent a lot of time there when I was a teenager. There's still one in the area in Dearborn. They screens. I think about going there sometimes, but I just never done it. But it's been many years. KQAU, back to that.
I thought, if you're on your phone, you got a little distortion in there. I don't know if your audio's just up a little high. I want to try turning your outbound down just a little bit. I've noticed that the last few times that you've called in. That doesn't sound like a good IAX client. We'll work with you. Step into Zoom and we'll fix you up. A couple more just popped in via the text line. New Freedom, Pennsylvania, W2VDX. W2VDX. Theodore, good morning. U2VDX, New Freedom, Pennsylvania, via the text line. Good morning.
Sir, we did drive-ins when we lived in Pittsburgh. Over.
So that's a yes for you, Theodore? Noisy, but we'll put you down for a yes as far as the drive-in theater is concerned. Jim, Easton, Pennsylvania, 83ATQ. Missed you for a few weeks, Jim. I hope, when do we have our next Elmer? Is that next week? I think that's next week. Look forward to seeing you. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, and Brew Crew. Yeah, I've been a little busy. Getting married June 10th. Got a lot of stuff in the works, and I had a little bit of minor surgery, but I will be at the next one. Been to a drive-in movie, but it's been about 40 years. Glad you're feeling a little bit better, Dick. Back to the net. KD3ATQ.
Well, you know, it sounds good. Jim was in our Ask the Elmer room for a couple weeks, and we got talking about all-star nose, and a week later, Jim comes, he's got one all built. Sounding great. Let's take some new stations. New stations wishing to get in here on the morning brew. Vicky's back, ready to take your call signs. Twice and slowly. And this is Dick, WB2JPQ.
Please see 7 OMA Whiskey Delta Foxtrot OMA Global in and out. Good morning.
In 9 dBm.
Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie. Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie.
November 5 Delta Romeo Tango. November 5 Delta Romeo Tango. In and out.
And 0 EBB Don Jackson, Missouri.
Whiskey 4 kilowatt Charlie W4 KKC Mobile. Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra Zulu Juliet. Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra Zulu Juliet. Mobile in and out. Kilo Charlie 3 Foxtrot Golf Delta. Kilo Charlie 3 Foxtrot Golf Delta. Kilo Delta 3 Bravo Juliet Juliet. That's Kilo Delta 3 Bravo Juliet Juliet. Hotel India Foxtrot, Athens, Georgia, in and out. Kilo Quebec 4, Papa Yankee X-Ray. In and out, please. AQ4 PYX. I'm going to stop there. Good morning to Stephen, KQ4PYX, W9HIF, W2KDC. I know we got the call right. It was KD3BJJ. I heard it, and Vicky heard it. KD3BJJ, but you're not coming up. Is that a new call sign? Sir, that's a brand new call sign, just past technician, just hit the FCC database this morning, and this is my first net of the day. Your name, so we can at least put a name in here until it comes up on QRZ, please. Jason, Kilo Delta 3, Bravo, Juliet, checking in from Hanover, Pennsylvania. If I get Jason, Ricky Scott in. All right, we'll be right back to you. Morning, Mike, K6AAN. Morning, Ray in Elizabeth Township. We got you, KD2NL. We got W4KAC. Looks like you're new to the system. From North Carolina. Good morning to Vern. Vern's all walking, I'm sure, this morning. We got Don in Jackson, Missouri. K0EBB. N5DRT. Got Bob in Sylvania. We got Nathan in Chicago. And who we got? We got Lee, KO4WDF. And Mike, W7OMH. is going to start this round out. Good morning to you, Mike. And our question for everyone, which was sent in by K1JAX. Have you ever been to a drive-in movie? I grew up in Oak Harbor, Washington State, on Whidbey Island, and there's a drive-in there called the Blue Spot. Went through it for many years, grown up. I believe that it's still open. And the old Blue Spot, yeah, just have a great time. Anyway, everybody have a good day.
Mike, just a yes or no. Oh, we need a yes or a no for the drive-in.
Yes. Yes. The Blue Fox on Whidbey Island in Oak Harbor, Washington. Yes. Into the drive-in. Back to you.
We got you down. We got a mobile in here. The head scroll down. Safari rolled off my screen. W4KAC. Looks like Kenneth. Looks like you're new to the system from North Carolina. Good morning, Ken. All right. I think that's me. It is Whiskey 4 kilowatt Charlie. W4KKC. We'll change that to W4KKC, and it makes it all better. Good morning. Ricky and the crew, W4KKC in Richland, North Carolina. I have been to a drive-in theater once when I was very young in Massachusetts, and then once about 3 years ago in 29 Palms, California. So put me down for a yes. 7-3 to everybody. Have a blessed day. W4KKC, back to net. And it is. Sorry about the call. There's 4 people called in all at once there. How about Lee? Waycross, Georgia. W0 or W04 WDF. Good morning. Kilo Oscar 4 Whiskey Delta Foxtrot. Good morning, everybody. Yes, there's a drive-in theater in Jeff, Georgia. Last time me and my wife went for our anniversary, we were able to watch 2 movies off of one screen, but we went there, we watched 30 minutes of it, then fell asleep, woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and we were the only one in the drive-in theater, so yeah, that was fun. 804 WDF. Well, there's a story for you. Thank you for being there. Nathan, Chicago, Illinois. Good morning. N9BBM.
Good morning, Dick, and the entire morning crew. Hope you're feeling better soon. Yes, I've been to a drive-in theater multiple times back home in southern Indiana. I can control in 9 BBM.
Yes, it is. Let's go to Bob. Sylvania, Ohio, WDAPIC. Come on, Bob. Good morning, WDAPIC. Yes. And just, I don't remember what movie it was, but it was back in the day where you had the speaker. And we drove off fast, and you know what happened to the speaker. I remember hearing the clunk, the noise and the... oh, shucks. Cloudy and in the around 60 here. Back to net, WD8PIC. To JPQ. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you, Dick. This is Al, KBAC, along with Vicky, KABKY. Great question today. Have you ever been to a drive-in movie? And I don't know why I know this, but I can tell you the first movie I saw at a drive-in was Tora, Tora, Tora. And the last movie I saw at a drive-in was Evil Dead 2. And I had this cute blonde girl that was hanging out with me. And she's still hanging out with me. And here we are in 2025. Let's go to N0EBB, Don in Jackson, Missouri. Good morning, Don.
Well, good morning, Al, and the rest of the brew. First-time caller, a long-time listener, but I have been to a drive-in movie multiple times due to the fact that I was a manager of a local drive-in theater for a local theater chain. But the real estate price exceeded the business expectations, and away the drive-in went as of most of them today. So, and yeah, I repaired many of the speakers pulled out from the speaker poles. So, back to the net, 73 all the way around.
All righty, thank you, Don. Have a great day. Yeah, working there. I've been to quite a few movies then. Next up, let's go to VA3 CRF, Vern Waterdown. Good morning, Vern.
Good morning, Al and Vicki and everybody on the net. Thanks for picking me up. Out for a walk. The temperature is 52. It's overcast. It's going to rain today, probably starting around lunchtime. Going to get a couple of days of rain. That's okay. The grass needs it. Great question. I have been to a drive-in theater. I got one for you, Al. I actually remember in California coming across a drive-in church. How about that? And also a neighboring town here, they do a summer movie festival. The town is down on Lake Ontario, and it's fun to take your camping chair down and watch a movie under the stars. Al, thanks for doing it. Hope you have a good day, and take care, everybody. VA3 CRF.
All righty, thank you, Vern. Yes, I have heard of that drive-in church before in California. That's interesting. I have questions, but we won't ask them today. Next up, KC3FG, Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Al, Vicki, and everyone on the brew. Well, living down New Jersey, but the state was saturated with them, so back in the late 50s, early 60s, my girlfriend and I, now my wife, went to them on a regular basis. Then when we moved upstate New York in the foothills of the Adirondacks, we discovered they had quite a few of them up there, and that was 25 years ago. They actually built one about that time with two screens on it, so you could watch two different movies at the same time. Everyone have a great day. Back to net control.
All righty, thank you, Ray. Have a great day. Yep, the one we had on the north of the town, they had a double screen. The one that was on the south end of town was just a big single screen, but it was still a lot of fun. Next up, K6AAN, Mike in Valley Springs, California. Good morning, Mike.
And good morning to everybody on the brew crew. As far as the question goes there, that's affirmative. Many times as a teenager and a little bit beyond that. They're all gone. I grew up down in Stockton, and there's houses where all those theaters used to be. We used to have 4 of them in town, I think. Anyway, everybody have a great day out there. We'll hand it back to you. This is KAN.
All right, thank you, Mike. Have a great day. Next up, our new ham, KD3, BJJ, Jason. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Long time listening for the past couple of weeks, but this is the first time transmitting on the air, so thanks for having me. Absolutely have been to a drive-in theater. There's one north, kind of up in the Dillsburg area that my wife and I still go and attend, but my first drive-in experience was when we lived in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, a little town called Strasburg. There was a drive-in theater there that we went when we first moved in there. And actually the day after we got married, we went to the drive-in theater and saw one of the Star Wars prequels and went on a road trip down to Disney. So, fun memories of the drive. 73, back to
All righty, thank you, Jason. Congratulations on getting licensed up. We hope to check in often. Next up, W2KDC, Dennis in Dansville, New York. Good morning, Dennis.
Good morning, Al, and everyone on the brew. Yes, I've been to a drive-in theater many times.
My wife and I and our daughter used to go quite often when she was growing up. That was quite a few years ago. But there's still one or two around here. So we haven't gone in a number of years. W2KDC, wishing everybody 73, and back to net control.
All righty, thank you, Dennis. I've heard there's one opened back up in Monroe, not too far from me, and I think they have kind of an impromptu one still in my home drive-in used to be. But like that guy way before, we would just fall asleep and be there till 4 a.m. All right, next up, Andy, Cheektowaga, W2AJR. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning, Al. Yep, been to the drive-in many times. There's still a big one around 4 screens, and they just redid the projectors and stuff. So yeah, we go a couple times a year. And we also do an impromptu drive-in in our backyard, in the projector, and goes over and watch the movies on the weekend as well. So 7-3, everybody have a great day. Thank you all.
All righty, thank you, Andy. Yes, I did that one time too. Put a big old 20 by 40 white screen on the barn and hooked up a big sound system and had the kids were teenagers and they thought it was the coolest thing ever. Next up, W2EM, Chuck Lancaster. Good morning, Chuck.
Hey, good morning, all. Another rainy day in Western New York. Yep, I went to a lot of drive-ins, a lot of them. In fact, this September the 13th, our club is renting the Lockport, New York drive-in for our Hamfest. We've been doing that for the last about 3 or 4 years, and that's worked out pretty good. You get a big venue, all kinds of space, and it is close by. Other than that, I was returning to net. W2EM, I'll be clear.
Oh, that's a great idea. Renting out the drive-through or drive-in. Then at the end of the Hamfest, you can all hang out and watch a movie. Thanks for checking in. We got a couple more text check-ins. We'll get to N2MEX, Rick, River, New York. Good morning.
Good morning to everybody on the brew. I certainly remember the days of the drive-in theater with the humps where your car used to tilt up a little bit so you can see the screen. The early years when you used to pick the speaker off the mount and hang it on your window. And how about the times you pulled up and you saw all the glass on the floor from people that drove away that forgot to take the speaker off and put it back. Back to net. Thank you, guys. N2MEX.
All righty, thank you, Rick. You have a great day. Yep, you did see that quite often. Last on this list, we got WA2, WWK, Ron in Amherst, New York. Good morning, Ron.
Whiskey Altitude, Whiskey Kilowatt. I sure do remember it. I can remember it as kids. Everybody got their PJs on, and they sat in the back seat, and the whole family went. Some of the neighbor kids even came with us. And after about 15 or 20 minutes, all the kids were asleep. The adults got to see the movie. The kids did not. Been there as a teenager also. That was a little later in life. W2W, WK.
Yes, I remember that. Those were the good old days. All righty, that takes us down to the bottom. Past the top of the hour. Let's do another round of mobile check-ins. If you're mobile, come down to call signs twice and slowly. Mobiles only.
KL4, COH, Kilo Romeo 4, Charlie Oscar Hotel, Motorway C, mobile.
Zulu 8, Juliet Foxtrot. Kilo Zulu 8, Juliet Foxtrot mobile.
Yankee November uniform, K5, YNU, mobile.
right, KJ5KOR, KJ5KOR. All right, here we go. We got KJ5KOR, David in Houston, Texas. K5YNU, Florida and Conroe, Texas. We got KZ8JF, Jason in Royal Oak, Michigan. Top of this list, we have KR4COH, Hector in North Carolina. Question, have you ever been to a drive-in movie? KR4COH. Good morning, Hector.
Good morning to the Brew Crew. Yes, we have. Quite a while ago, in the 70s. It was by the White Stone Bridge in the Bronx, the Brooklyn Boulevard. And I believe they might still be around. Last time I checked. You used to see it from the highway in the Brooklyn Boulevard. And we used to always have a great time. Great day to the crew. Good net. And we are KR4COH. Clear.
All right, thank you, Hector. Have a great day. Next up, we got Jason in Royal Oak, KZ8JF. Good morning, Jason.
Morning, all. Yes, I went to the drive-in a few times as a kid back in the late 70s, and about 20 years ago when the Pontiac Silverdome was still standing, they actually had a drive-in set up in their parking lot. There were a few screens out at the freeway side of the parking lot. The Jeep Club used to go and watch movies there, so it's been a while, but yeah, I've definitely done that. KZ8JF, back in it.
I did not know that about the Silverdome. That's great info. Thanks, Jason. Next up, Lauren in Conroe, K5YNU. Good morning.
Good morning, Al, Vicky, and everyone in the Brew Crew. Yes, I have, but about 18 years ago, if I recall correctly. But it was fun. Vector and control. Have a blessed one, everyone. K5YNU.
All right, thanks, Lauren. Yep, been a lot longer than that for me, but I still would enjoy doing that again. KJ5KOR, David in Houston, Texas. Good morning, David.
Good morning. We've had a lot of drive-in movies here in the city of Houston. In the 1950s, we would go with my parents. In early high school, we'd sneak in the trunk. And then in later high school, we took our dates out there. They were wonderful, wonderful times. I don't believe there's any of them left. And I really enjoy the Brew Crew, and tell whoever needs to know that I finally brought my QRZ.com up to date. This is KJ5KOR. Thank you, sir.
All righty, thank you, David. Appreciate it. We got some text check-in. We got K04QMM, Roger, New Metella. We got AD2KP, Stephen in Brooklyn, New York. We got WA8CLG, Doug in Homosassa, Florida. WA8CLG, good morning, Doug.
This is WA8CLG. Very good morning, everybody. And yes, I have been to the drive-in many, many years ago. As a matter of fact, just for a short story, I met my wife there. Her and her girlfriend pulled up next to myself and my buddy that we just decided to go to the drive-in and struck up a conversation, ended up exchanging phone numbers, and that's been many, many years ago. We were married 67 years, so that's that's my story. Back to you, LWA8CLG.
All righty, thank you, Doug. You know, I'm starting to draw a correlation between having been to a drive-in theater and longevity. Maybe there's something to it. Next up, AD2K in Brooklyn, New York. Morning, Stephen.
Well, good morning, Al. Vicky and the rest of the Brew Crew. Oh, yes, drive-in theaters, absolutely been there. Absolutely love them, still love them. The last time I was at one was up in Warwick, New York. They had, like, believe it or not, like 3 different screens in their drive-in. It was fantastic. So Yes, love it. I hope everyone has a blessed and wonderful day. This is 82 KP back to net control.
All righty, thanks, Stephen. Have a great day yourself. Next up, one of our net controllers for the 20-meter net, amongst others, KO4 QMM, Roger.
Good morning, Al and the Brew crew. Yes, I have, and it was Prairie Lake Drive-In, Altamont Springs, Florida. We used to hang out on the back row, and I think one of the last movies I was at was Christine, and that was early 80s. Had a lot of fun. Got to tear out some landscape today, get ready for some new stuff, and we'll see you all on the 20-meter net tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., 14.31, give or take a kilohertz. Everybody have a wonderful day. 73. I'm clear.
All righty, thank you, Roger. Have a great day. We'll catch you tomorrow. Next up, we got a couple more text check-ins. KD5RRJ, Dan in Counts, Texas. Good morning, Dan.
This is KD5RRJ. Good morning, sir, and the rest of the brew. And as far as a drive-in theater, yes, I have been to one, but man, that was a long time ago when I was just a kid. My parents were young and married and in college, and they liked to go to the drive-in movie theater, and I remember playing in the back seat as a kid, and I believe the movie that I remember watching was Jaws. And so they tried to shield me from that as much as they could, being a little kid, but I mean, hey, when you're in the backseat of a car, you still get to hear it and see it. Anyway, appreciate you being there, KD5RRJ. Back to net.
All righty, thank you, Dan. Have a great day. Next up, W8ROY, Roy in Livonia. Good morning, Roy.
Good morning, everyone on the Morning Brew. Yep, remember the drive-in fondly. Our speakers had heaters, too, so you wouldn't freeze with the window cracked. But I think there's only one left now in southeast Michigan, and I'm not sure I would trust myself going there without being well-armed. Everybody have a great day. Back to net control. This is W8ROI.
All righty, thank you, Roy. Have a great day. Next up, our aeronautical net controller, Carlos, N1CBM. Morning, Carlos.
Morning, Al, Vicky, and the rest of the crew. It's 55 up here in Glenview of Chicago, where I'm up until tomorrow. And that correlation is factual, Al. You know, you answer yes, and that means you have a bunch of numbers in your age. So, it's no different for me. 35 years ago, I think it was the last time I was in one of those drive-ins. But I can't even remember the movie. Oh gosh, that's a long time ago. Well, anyways, I hope everyone has a great Wednesday, and 1CBN. Back to you, Al.
All righty, thank you, Carlos. And this list, KD5AR, Brad, Milton, Florida. Good morning, Brad.
Well, good morning, and good to hear everybody. This is KD5AR, 18-wheeler mobile here in outside of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, heading up to Cleburne, Texas, outside of Dallas there. So be up there this afternoon. And anyway, drive-in theaters. Yeah, I went to a few when I was a little kid. But I'm 43, so they started phasing out pretty good before I got to really enjoy them. Those drive-in movie theaters. So anyway, very interesting though. I always thought that was pretty neat, being able to sit in your car and have a little speaker that you hang in your window and watch a movie. I think that was pretty cool. So anyway, back to you, and everybody have a great morning. KD5AR.
All right, thank you, Brad. Have a great morning. That takes us down to the bottom of this list. This is AC along with Vicky, K8BKY. Logging for me, keep me out of trouble. General check-ins. Let's go general check-ins. If you want to get in on the morning brew, come now to call signs twice and slowly.
Kilo 5, Foxtrot, Romeo, Whiskey.
7G1.
Kilo 5, Foxtrot, Romeo, Whiskey.
Kilo Juliet 5, Kilo Uniform X-Ray. Kilo Juliet 5, Kilo Uniform X-Ray. Ricky, Houston.
Echo Lima Sierra W2 KLS
KJ5 KLJ3.
W2 KJV, W2 KJV. KE2 FVI, KE2 FVI.
Kilo Bravo 5, Sierra Alpha Victor. Kilo Bravo 5, Sierra Alpha Victor. In and out, please.
Kilo Delta 9 Tango Alpha Foxtrot in and out. Foxtrot in and out. Kilo Echo 8, Sierra. Kilo Echo 8, Sierra Mike November. K8 SMM, in and out.
November 2, Lima, Quebec, Quebec. November 2, Lima, Quebec. This is Kilo 6, 1 November, India. Good morning. I'll be in and out. K6, LA. All right, let's see if we can make sense of a few things here. This is out station, KD9A something F. Could you come back with your call sign twice and slow? I believe that was a KD9 Alpha Delta Foxtrot, is that correct? All right, well, nothing heard. We did have Iowa up here, so let's see what we've got. And first off, we'll get the ins and outs. We had KE8S, Jeff in Rochester Hills. Good morning, Jeff. We had KD9ADF, David, Egg Harbor, Wisconsin. He was out KB5SAP, Jason in St. Amant, Louisiana. He was in and out. Stick your head in and say good morning, guys. From the bottom, we had K6LNI, Lance, Hayward, California. Into LQQ Chris, West Seneca, New York. We had E2FBI Kyle in Plattsburgh, New York. One of our facilitators, W2KJF Tony in Homosassa, Florida. We had KJ5 LJJ Gregory in Mississippi. We had WA2ELL Leo in Clayton, New York. KJ5 K Ricky, Houston, Texas. K5FRW Dennis in Spring, Texas. And 7GY Thomas in Chandler, Arizona. Now, I know there was some doubles and triples. It didn't get you. We'll wait a few seconds and somebody's going to step on you and then come to your call sign twice and slowly if I didn't get you in that round.
November.
M0 Arnie, November 0, Romeo November Echo.
Kilo Bravo 2 with Golf Charles. Bravo 2 with Golf Charles.
Bravo Delta Oscar, Kilo Echo 2, Bravo Delta Oscar, mobile and in and out.
Kilo Mike 4 Tango Charlie. Kilo Mike 4 Tango Charlie van in North Carolina.
That's N8RWF. Check me out. That's Good Morning Al.
That last, N8RWF, Bill in Trenton, Michigan, was in and out. That's what I thought that was. Morning, Bill. Then we had KE2BDO, Richard in Schuler Falls, New York, in and out. KM4TC, Terry in 4 Oaks, North Carolina, in and out. Thanks, guys, checking in. We have KB2WGC, Kevin, N0RNE, Jeff in Lewisburg, North Carolina. NW3U, David in North Carolina. I think we got the rest here. I think we got K6LNI, Lancelot, Hayward, California. Up and then 2LQQ, Chris in West Seneca, New York. I think we got the rest from that point up. Reminder, question of the day is, have you ever been to a drive-in movie? This is Al, KABAC, along with Vicky, KUI, logging for me, keep me out of trouble. Man, I'm losing it today. I'm trying to move my mouse and do 2-3 things at the same time. Let's jump up to KK7DY Clark in Phoenix, Arizona.
Good morning, Al, Vicky, and the rest of the Brew crew. Yes, I've been to drive-in movies in Topeka and then here in Arizona. Back to net control, KK7DY.
All righty, thank you, Clark. Have a great day. Next up, K5FRW, Dennis in Spring, Texas. Good morning, Dennis.
Good morning. Up to the Morning Brew. Yes, the first movie I ever went to was a drive-in movie in 1951, shortly after my family and I, as a small child, moved to Houston from Colorado Springs. So, don't remember the name of the movie, but I do remember that was the first movie I ever went to. Over.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. A long time ago in a galaxy far away. And you haven't lived until you backed your pickup truck into the back space and put out a lawn chair in the bed and sat back with eat some beverages and watched a movie that way. Next up, KJ5KUX, Ricky in Houston, Texas. Good morning, Ricky.
Howdy, everybody in the Brew crew. Good morning. Thank you for running the net. As far as drive-in movies, I think as a kid, I'm maybe of a different generation. I was born in '82, and I think that was at the sunset of the drive-in movie theater experience, but I still managed to go to one or two as a child. I love the movies, and I think that is a cool idea, and I wish they'd bring something like that back. Anyway, this is KJ5KUX. Everybody have a good day. Back to net control.
All righty, thank you, Ricky. And yeah, around here, there's a few of them starting to pop up a little bit. I'm wondering if maybe it'll be a trend. I hope so. Next up, WA2ELL, Leo. Good morning, Leo. WA2ELL. All right, let's jump down to KJ5LJJ, Gregory, Purvis, Mississippi. Morning.
Good morning, Brew crew. My first time calling. I live near Hattiesburg, Mississippi, to that station that was around Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And that's why I went to my last drive-in movie. And it's the first time calling. I'm new. So I appreciate it, net control.
All right, thank you. Down to yes, you have a great day. Check in often. We're here Monday through Friday, except for holidays. We don't get paid not to do holidays. Next up, W2KJV, Tony in Homosassa, one of our facilitators. Good morning.
Good morning,
many drive-in movies. The first movie drive-in movie that I can remember was The Bridge Over the River Kwai, and the last one was in 1980, The Empire Strikes Back, and that's the last one. Back to you, Al. Hope everyone has a great day. W2 KJV.
All righty, thank you, Tony. Have a great day. Next up, KE2FBI, Kyle, Plattsburgh, New York. Good morning, Kyle.
Yeah, all the younger generation.
Kyle, I think you were just a little bit past the end of your string. All we got was a few pieces of static coming through, and that was about it. Thanks for checking in this morning. Let's see. We had KB5SAV, Jason, and St. Ambrose in and out. Let's go to KD9ADF, David at Egg Harbor. Good morning, David. KD9ADF, you with us? All right, here nothing. Let's see. KE8SMN, Jeff, he was in and out. Thanks for stopping in this morning, Jeff. Have a great day. Let's go to N2LQQ, Chris in West Seneca, New York. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning to you, and good morning to everybody on the Brew Crew. My first movie that I remember as a very young person was The Absent-Minded Professor with Fred McMurray. I remember that movie very well. It was black and white. I was in the car with my parents. And after that, we went to several other movies. Now the drive-ins, we got one here up in Lockport, I think, but that's about it. So I'm back out. Thanks again for having me. And to LQQ, we're clear.
All righty, thank you, Chris. Have a great day. Just for nostalgia's sake, I now have that theme song from The Bridge Over the River Kwai stuck in my head. Thank you. Next up, K6LNI, Lancelot, Hayward, California. Good morning. K6LNI, are you with us? All right, here nothing. NW3U, David in Garner, North Carolina. Good morning, David. NW3U, David in Garner, North Carolina. Good morning, David. You with us? All right, he might have been in and out as well. N0RNE, Jeff in Pittsburgh, North Carolina. Morning. Good morning, Al. To you and everybody else on the brew. This is N0RNE. Yes, sir, I most certainly have gone to drive-in theater. Not only did I go to a drive-in theater in Rhode Island where I grew up as a child, enjoyed that. As I got a little bit older, some friends and I in high school, the drive-in theater was kind of at the bottom of the hill, and we used to go sit at the top of the hill with our radios instead of them having their own individual speakers. They would broadcast over a certain radio frequency, and we'd sit there and watch the movies with our with our radios sitting up at the top of the hill. But not only that, here in Henderson, North Carolina, is an active movie theater, drive-in theater. Every weekend, both Fridays and Saturdays, they play both contemporary and older movies. Seem to have a really good business going with it. Everybody enjoys it. I know I've gone to that theater several times. But with that, I'm going to turn it back over to the net. This is N0RNE.
All right. Jeff, have a great day. Next up, KB2WGC, Kevin in Omaha. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning to you, Al, and Quiet Vicky, and to the rest of the Brew crew. You bring back wonderful memories. Yes, I have been to drive-in. Remember my daughter with her cousins many times at a local drive-in. And since moving to Florida, we have not given a thought about a drive-in because they're far away, and we don't want to deal with the bugs and the heat. Back to you next, KB2WGC.
All right, thank you, Kevin. That's where you got to have those little coil things that you fire and put them on the hood of your car so you can wreck your paint job. That's what those are for bugs. But I can't do anything about the heat. All right, we got a couple of check-ins. We got KC2GRN, Joel in East Yaffink, New York. KD2WRJ, Mike in Camels, New York. And KD9YUZ, Jimmy Wakarusa. Let's get some more check-ins. More check-ins for the Morning Brew. Company call signs twice and slowly.
November 8, Mike Juliet, November. November 8, Mike Juliet, November. Mobile. KF8, DIC. KF8, Detroit Rock City. This is 4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Kilo Romeo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta. First time caller.
Okay.
Kilo Juliet 5 Delta X-Ray Bravo. Kilo Juliet 5 Delta X-Ray Bravo.
All right, let's hold her up right there. We had KC2JPQ Frank Castor checking in via text. KJ5DXB Frank in Sugar Land, Texas. KR4BAD David, new to the system, North Carolina. We'll be back with you in a minute. And there was somebody who, David, who was in the background a little bit. Just after KF8 DRC, Jack in Rochester, Michigan. Come back, call sign twice and slowly. You doubled with David.
You're talking about me. It's November 5, Oscar Zulu Golf. November 5, Oscar Zulu Golf Mobile.
All right, we got...
That might also be me, K0MVH 8 in Austin, Texas. Kilo 0 Mike Victor Hotel. Kilo 2 Charlie Mike Tango.
November 5, Romeo Tango Charlie. November 5, Romeo Tango Charlie. Austin, Texas. In and out.
Kilo Echo 8, Uniform X-Ray Mike. Kilo Echo 8, Uniform X-Ray Mike. Ryan in Royal Oak, Michigan.
Alrighty, let's hold it up right there. We'll finish the rest of this list off. N5 JOJ Bill in Oklahoma. He's coming in via text. KE8 UXM Ryan in Royal Oak.
Good morning, Ryan. N5RTC, Terry in Austin, Texas. He was in and out. Thanks. Morning. We had K2 CMT, one of our facilitators, Mike, down in DeBerry, Florida. K0 MPH Nate in Menchaca, Texas. I don't know how to say that. Let's see, who else we got here? N5 OZG Joe in Louisiana. He's mobile. We'll get right back to you, Joe. Let's see, jumping up, we had N8 MJN Marson in Sterling Heights, Michigan. He's mobile. We'll get back to you in just a little bit. We had W2PUT Dan in Milan checking in via text. KD9YUZ, Jimmy and Walker, Mike and Camillus, and KC2GRN, Joel and East, yeah, I think. Let's get our mobile stations. N8 MJN Marson in Sterling Heights. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Al, and everybody else on the Brew Crew. This is N8MJN. I can't say that I've ever been to a drive-in. I think the closest thing to a drive-in that I've been to has been one of those blow-up screens in the front yard with all the kids from the neighborhood watching a movie with a projector, but definitely no drive-ins for me. With that, I'll send it back to Net Control. Thank you for picking me up. 73s, N8MJN.
Alrighty, safe travels, Mars. Enjoy. Next up, our other mobile station, N5OZG Joe in Louisiana. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Net Control, and good morning to everyone out there. My name is Joe, Juliet Oscar. We are mobile and currently in New Orleans. Gonna head across the old mighty Mississippi River. So that's it. Good evening to you. It's partly cloudy and it's probably about 82, 83 degrees. Back to you, Net Control. N5OZG Mobile.
Well, Joe, we got a question of the day. Have you ever been to a drive-in movie theater? I don't know if you answered that or not. Could you come back with that?
Movie theater. Man, when I was a little kid, I think the last drive-in movie I saw was with my family and my parents. It was Godzilla versus Megalon. That's how long ago that was. N5OZG.
Oh, now you're speaking my language right there. All right, thanks, Joe. There's a YouTube channel that does nothing but shows old Godzilla movies. I'm kind of hooked on that. All right, let's jump up to the top of this list. KC2GRN, Joel in East Bank. Joel, have you ever been to a drive-in movie theater?
Good morning, Al and Vicky and everybody on the Morning Brew, KC2GRN. Yes, I have been to a drive-in movie a number of times in my youth and a little bit growing up. Got a little story with one. Back in the early 80s, I used to travel to Philadelphia, and we would stay in a hotel called the Hilton. It was right next to a drive-in theater, and if you requested at the desk to get a movie-side room, they put you in a room about the third floor, and you can pull back the curtains. You had a full view of the movie screen of the drive-in movie next door. So instead of table, you could look at the movie. Keep and clear.
Oh, heck, that's a good idea. Thought the movie on the ship was pretty cool, that cruise we went on last year, but man, that's even a better idea. All right, thanks for checking in this morning. Let's go down to KD2WRJ, Mike, Camillus, New York. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Brew Crew. Yes, the last time I went to the drive-in, I went and saw the movie Big Trouble in Little China back in 1986. So yes, I have been, and it was a good time. So everybody have a good day. WRJ, back to Net Control.
All right, thank you, Mike. Have a great day. Next up, KD9, YUZ, Jimmy and Walkeroo.
Good morning, Al and Vicky and everybody on the brew. Yeah, drive-in movie theaters. Used to be a whole bunch of them around here, and now we're down to just one, and it's about 20 miles away. Yes, I have been to a drive-in. It's probably been 40 years ago now. You guys all have a great day. KD9YUZ, back to you, Al.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. Have a great day yourself, sir. Next up, one of our facilitators coming from me here, W2PUT. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning. Yes, I have been. Last time we were, I think it was right before we moved to Michigan, at Transit Drive-In there, up on Transit Road. Yeah, the closest one to us is either the other side of the county here over by Monroe, or one that's actually by Bend PW. But nothing close. I have a vague remembrance of my first drive-in movie as a kid. It was the Herbie movies in the early 70s at the old Nike drive-in, which is long since gone. Back to you from W2PUT.
All right, thanks, Dan. Yep, I remember seeing movies at the theater. In fact, the Sky Drive-In, the only thing that's left of the Sky Drive-In is if you're going down 23 towards Toledo, that fireworks place on the west side of the road, there's a rocket ship that's made out of like steel bar. That used to be the side at the drive-in, at the Sky Drive-In. Most people don't know that. For the Ohio line. DRC Jack in Rochester, Michigan. Good morning, Jack.
Hey everyone, yeah, I used to go to drive-in movies to watch the Cowboys, especially John Wayne. And that's all for now. Thank you. For wearing the net. KFA, DRC.
All right, thank you, Jack. Have a great day. This is Al, KBAC, along with Vicky. KY, log them for me. Keep me out of trouble. Let's jump down to KR4, BAD, David. North Carolina, David, looks like you do this. Welcome. Good morning.
Well, good morning, everybody. Yeah, this is the first time I found out about this. One of my other friends got a talk pod, and so on our repeater, we're all using Echo Link with these talk pods, and so it's getting us out there. Your drive-in question, I've been to a drive-in about twice when I was really little. Don't remember the movies, but actually my brother-in-law now, it was his father that owned the drive-in theater in Gloucester, Virginia, or in Hayes, Virginia, I guess was the exact town. But I don't even really remember it. I remember we went out there in my pajamas when I was little in the car, so the parents threw us in the car and took us to the drive-in. Thanks for letting me check in, and this is KR4 BAD, back to net.
All right, thank you, David. Check in often. We're here Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you are new to the system and you had a valid email address, you'll receive a welcome letter from the East Coast Reflector team. Next up, Texas KJ5DXB, Frank in Sugarland. Good morning, Frank.
KJ5DXB, good morning to you, Al, Vicky, and everybody. Put me down for a yes. KJ5DXB, thank you for the check-in. Back to you, Al.
All right, thank you, Frank. Have a great day. Next up, KC2J, Frank in Lancaster, New York. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Al, and everybody listening to the brew. Yes, I've been to a drive-in theater. There's still a couple here in Buffalo. but they're quite a distance away from where I live. Other than that, I'll just say 7-3, back to the net. Thanks for checking me in, KC2JPQ.
All right, thank you, Frank. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great day. Next up, K0MBH, Nate in Texas. Good morning, Nate.
Good morning, everyone. Great to be here again. Usually I'm monitoring most mornings, but every now and then I've got a little more time to try and get myself fully on the list and check in. I love the question today. I actually think the last time I was at a drive-in theater was more recent than some of the others here, and yet it was still probably 15 years ago. Somewhere here in Austin, Texas, there used to be a little drive-in theater. It was one of the last, and was absolutely amazing. I couldn't see what movie I saw at the time. I think they were doing a double feature, but it was a great experience, and the question definitely brings back lots of great memories. So, thank you much. K0MVH, back to net control.
All right, thank you, Nate. Have a great day. One of our facilitators, K2CMT, Mike in DeBerry, Florida. Good morning, Mr. Mike.
Good morning, Al, Dick, and Miss Vicky, and everyone else that's joining us here this morning. The answer is yes, and I've even been known to ride in the seat up front instead of the auxiliary seating in the trunk. If any of you old enough to remember that type of transportation. This is K2CMT, back to net control.
All righty, thank you, Mike. Yep, that mile and a half to the theater riding in the trunk so you didn't have to pay was could be brutal sometimes. A bunch of smart aleck friends that wouldn't let you out for about 20 minutes. All right, next up we have, not or anything. Anyways, next up we have KE8UXM Ryan in Royal Oak. Good morning, Ryan. KE8UXM, are you with us? All right, hearing nothing. We got some text check-ins. We have KY4NB Scott in Memphis. We have KF8 TJQ Kevin in Bowling Green, Ohio. We got W9EBB in McCall, Florida. WB1DXN Darrell in Epsom, New Hampshire. We got K4ITA in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. KC9IXX in Rochester, Indiana. W8WHK Bill in North Fort Myers, Florida, and we have N5JOJ Bill in Tulacqua, Oklahoma. N5JOJ, have you ever been to a drive-in movie theater? Good morning. Yeah, hey, top of the morning to you and everybody on the brew crew there. Yes, as a teenager, I've been to a drive-in just about every Saturday night there, but haven't been since then. Of course, a lot of those are no longer there. Drive-ins kind of went by the wayside there, so, but used to go when I was younger, and I remember those trunk deals there too, because it was like $5 a carload to go see the movies back when I was a teenager. So I never been in the trunk, but I have heard of that happening there for sure. So anyhow, good morning to everyone out here in northeast Oklahoma. Here on the reservation, we got sun today. It's been raining for the last week or so, and I think they said we already got half our year's rain, 20 inches. So there you go, but we got sun now. It's going to dry out, and then this weekend we're going to get a little bit more rain. So there you go. Everything's green, the hay is growing, and a lot of water on the ground, that's for sure. More than we need. But anyhow, everyone have a super day. N5JOJ, back to net control. All right, thank you, Bill. Have a great day.
Next up, W8, WHK, Bill on Fort Myers. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning from Southwest Florida. It's about 82 degrees here, sunny, beautiful. Yes, drive-in movies were great. I remember we went to, my parents used to take us up there a lot. And we had up in Ohio, and there were several of them around. And teenagers, that was the place to go. And I remember after I got married, my wife and I would get a movie at the drive-in. I remember you had the boxes they'd hang on the window. Sometimes it didn't work. You had to park your car somewhere else and find one that worked. And then they did the thing with the radios. I can't remember if it was AM or FM, but that was nice too. Okay, we used to have one right down the street from here, where I'm living now. And it's gone. One day it was there, the next day they had the signs up closed. It was on Tamiami Trail, about 2 miles south of here. Okay, I'll turn it back to you. This is W8WHK 73s.
All right, thank you, Bill. Have a great day. Next up, KC9IXX, Roger in Rochester, Indiana. Good morning, Roger.
Good morning. Appreciate the opportunity to check in. Good morning to everybody on the Brew Crew from Indiana. And yes, my family used to take us when I was a kid to the drive-in movies quite a bit. From time to time, we had one about 30 miles up the road. Of course, like most of them, they're closed up now, but definitely good memories from when I was a kid. Neat question. Anyways, thanks everybody, and this is KC9IXX, back to Net Control. You guys have a good rest of your day.
All right, thank you, Roger. Have a great day, sir. Next up, K4ITA, Leo, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Good morning, Leo.
Good morning Al, good morning Vicky, good morning everybody from your Italian friend in the beautiful Fort Lauderdale. 88 degrees today, a bit humid, summer is back, summer weather is back in South Florida. And the answer is yes. I've been a long time ago once at the Swap Shop. It's a nice place here in Fort Lauderdale. Have everybody a great day. This is K4ITA.
All righty, thank you, Leo. Have a great day yourself. Next up, WB1, DXN, Daryl in Epsom, New Hampshire. Good morning, Daryl.
Good morning, Vicky and Al and the rest of them.
Well, Daryl, a good morning, and then you dropped right off the face of the earth. You still with us?
Everybody, Dave, be careful out there in the roads. WB1DXN, and thanks for being there again for us.
Daryl, you dropped out. We didn't get your answer. Was it yes or no on the drive-in?
Yes, probably about 40 years plus or minus. I don't know why. There was a couple of dropouts also when I was listening, so this system here is getting terrible. I gotta find a different system. WB1DXN, back to Net Control.
All righty, thank you, Daryl. Have a great day. Yep, we got you. W9 EBB, Don in Ocala, Florida. Good morning, Don. W9 EBB, are you with us?
As a kid, I first listened to Star Wars, the original movie, 4 times on an AM radio. It's about 3 blocks away from the movie theater. Because remember, AM radio was the way you would listen to it. So I was able to listen to Star Wars about 5 times before I actually saw the movie. Went to the movie drive-in many.
After I got out of the military, I moved to an area that also had a drive-in, and I went to that one many times. After that, here in Florida, we had the Ocala Drive-In Theater. And yes, I plan on seeing Tom Cruise's new Mission Impossible at that great theater sometime, probably. So yes, I still frequent a movie theater, drive-in. And actually, they have concerts at ours. Last one was Third Day showed up there. That's about all I have. God bless all. A wonderful day.
All right, thank you, Don. Our active drive-in movie theater goer. I think you're the first one. KF8 DJQ, Bowling Green, Ohio. Good morning.
Good morning. Not only have I been to a drive-in movie theater, I used to work at the concession stand at our local drive-in movie theater, and all I can say is don't eat the pizza. I do know where the fireworks shop is you're talking about, being right close there. That's we used to run up there and get our annual ordinance for the 4th of July. So, KF8 DJQ, back to net control.
Yep, it's about time to make that pilgrimage. All right, thanks, Kevin. Next up, KY4, Memphis, Tennessee. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Al, and everybody on the Brother Randall, if he's listening. The answer to the question would be yes. Been many, many years ago. I don't remember the movie, but every town had one. The one in Memphis just closed down on Summer Avenue. That was the last holdout in the big city of the queue here, so it's gone. Thanks for the net. Thanks to everybody behind the scenes. Everybody have a good hump day here at KY4NB. Back to net. 7-3's all.
All right, thank you, Scott. Next up, Bill up in Portland, Michigan. Good morning, Bill.
KWSH, good morning. Yes, I have been to a drive-in theater. 1982, I think, was the last time they tore it down. It was bad here in Michigan because of daylight savings time. It started too late.
Yep, all right. Yeah, I remember that. That really caused problems. All right, thanks, Bill. Have a great day. Next up, K4 LXJ Rex in Crystal River, Florida. Good morning, Rex.
Good morning to you and all the brew crew. Yes, that we used to go to the drive-in movie theater when I was a kid. They'd load up the station wagon, and that was definitely a treat for us. You guys have a wonderful morning, KJ4LXJ Rex. Back to net.
All right, thank you, Rex. Have a great day. Next up, W2CJM Charles in Selden, New York. Morning, Charles.
Everybody on the crew, yes, I have gone to a drive-in movie theater when we were young. Thanks for doing the net. Have a great day, everybody.
All right, thank you, Charles, and have a great day. Finally on this list, and wrapping up this version of the Morning Brew, KM4. It's Donnie in Jacksonville Beach. Good morning, Donnie.
Yeah, good morning, Al, Vicky, and everybody on the net. KM4CTB, Donnie in Jacksonville Beach. Yes, sir. Put me in the yes category, but it was during the last century, about 50. Thanks for doing the net, and have a great day, Al. KM4CTB.
We'll wrap up this version of the group. This is Al, K8BAC, on behalf of Vicky, K8BKY, Dick, WB2JPQ, and Scott, WLT, helping us out. We appreciate each and every one of you checking in. We now return the East Coast Reflector back to normal amateur radio use.
The system you're listening to is connected to the East Coast Reflector. Attention all POTA people. If you're into POTA or just want to check out one of the ECR's upcoming Zoom presentations, then listen up. Get your POTA self in the ECR Zoom room on May 29th at 7 p.m. to join Matt K2EAG and Angela N3ARB. They'll talk about how they got started in POTA, their experience participating in the 2023 WVE QSO party, where they achieved first place in the roving category, how they activated 5 islands all by kayak, as well as recent CW kayak mobile POTA activations. They'll also discuss the upcoming 10-day special event in September, where clubs across New York State will be activating the Erie Canalway National Heritage Corridor for the Erie Canal Bicentennial. W2ECR 73